Yo, people, what's good? Welcome back to another live show, Durag Diaries. You already know what it is. Today, big news come out, man. Honestly, as things get good, things come down, man. The highs and lows of being a Spurs fan. Spoke about it earlier. If you haven't already, go check out the new video, injury update. Yeah, man. Vicario, we lost a real one. But today, let's try and get on the positives whilst we start off. We're gonna get into all of that. But before we go into anything, as you guys know, please show some love on the channel. Hit the like, helps with the algorithm. It doesn't cost you anything, just takes a second. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Today we have a guest. A guy that you guys would have seen in the comment section, most definitely, man. If it's not here, it would have been at Hooks, halftime Hooks. If you don't know, get to know. But Blacker, man, what are you saying, my bro? What are you saying?
Big up, man. How you doing, Jords, man? It's a pleasure to be here, bro.
Let me get the... All right, there we go. Actually, not this layout. We better. Yeah, man. I'm good, man. It's good to have you here. It's a pleasure to have you on. First of all, how you feeling about that Vicario news, man?
You know what, yeah? I woke up this morning feeling like the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one can chat to me. I'm on top of the world. Like,
trust me.
I've gone on Twitter. I've seen Vicario. I locked my phone and went back to bed for an hour. I said, yo, I'm dreaming. It's calm. Wake up. It's true. But you know what? I'm all right. Like, I think we'll be all right, man. I think we'll be all right.
Oh, shit. I think I might have cut out. I don't know if I'm back here.
No, yeah, you're back.
I think it's me. I don't know.
No, I was thinking,
yeah, go on.
Cut out for a sec, but no, you're good now.
Yeah. So, no, you were saying you woke up this morning, you sort of trust me, just like you. I was feeling like the man, you know, all this weekend, man, just like, man, ain't chatting to me. My team's back. We're going to be firing. Don't worry, this weekend I was talking, like, Fulham's going to have to talk to us nice. But we just got brought straight back down to earth. I'm hearing he's going to be out for potentially 2 to 3 months. I can't lie. Fraser Forster. What are you saying on Fraser Forster? I know you saw him in the Galatasaray game, bro. I know you saw what I was seeing. Do you think we can survive by him? Forget 3 months. Let's just talk about the immediate future. We've got Roma this week. We've got Fulham on the weekend. Do you think Fraser Forster is going to have a big impact on how those games play out, or do you think we can get through them?
You know what? To be quite honest, right? We've had Forster for a while now, and I've been a big critic on him because I think we do deserve better. But I don't want to. I feel like it's a bit wrong for us to say, oh, you know, it's the end of the world now, because he has had these moments where he's kept us in games. He's made some big saves. Obviously, the way Ange likes to play with the goalkeeper being almost like a fifth defender, I am a little bit concerned, especially for that quarter-final against United. That's a big game. I really want to win that, like, really bad. But in all honesty, I reckon we will be all right. I reckon we'll be enough. We'll have enough to get the job done, man.
I hope so, man. I hope I can have this confidence, because the thing for me is, that game against Galatasaray, I think might have been one of we've seen him a few times this season. And AZ Alkmaar, I remember when I was at that game live, Fraser Forster just doesn't fill me with any confidence when, for one, crosses are coming into the box. We know that's a problem with Vicario, but with Forster, my man's like literally moving in slow motion. Like, he's 37, 38 years old. We've signed him to be a backup goalkeeper three years ago or so. And he's still here being backup. Like, it was only supposed to be a one-year thing. Like you said, I feel like it should have been a player that in the summer, and I saw the rumors going around, Tottenham are looking for a backup keeper. It was supposed to be addressed. Because we didn't address it in this typical Spurs way, it now comes back to bite us in the season. When I look at the immediate future, the reason why it's a big problem for me is the next month, these next 6 weeks leading into January, is one of our hardest periods throughout the whole season. We got Liverpool in that period. We've got Chelsea coming up soon. There's pretty much games every 2 to 3 days, because you have that Carabao Cup quarterfinal, as well as Europa League every week. There's no international breaks. So this is that period where we've got a big chunk of games and you need consistency, especially in that lineup. Fraser Forster is one of those players that he comes in and when he starts to make mistakes, it's going to be, but it's Forster, guys. We can't really expect much. Well, squad planning, we wouldn't have to be relying on him if it was better in the summer. But that's neither here or there, innit? Do you know what? One thing we got to do is shout out to Vicario. That was a big performance. The fact that we find out man played on a fractured foot for 60 minutes. That's a warrior right there. Man, still. What are you saying on the weekend, though? Because, of course, let's still speak about it, man. It's only been a few days. Well, how did you think about the game? Because you've heard about me and you tuned into the show yesterday. Let me know your thoughts. Because I know going into the game, I think I saw in the predictions, you wasn't overly, so like me, I was quite all the way one way, this is going to be City. You had a little bit of confidence, but how do you think about how the game played out itself?
I think there's only one word to summarize that game. Tottenham. Tottenham.
Oh shit! I don't know if it's me. I think this one might be Blacker. I think that was Blacker's connection this time. But as he was saying, Tottenham. This performance is Tottenham because this could only happen to Tottenham. There's only one team that could lose to Ipswich and then go on and beat City 4-0. It's nuts. It's only Tottenham this could happen to. It's only Tottenham that can lose 5 out of their first 11 games. But the games they're winning, they're clearing teams out. 3-1, 3-0, 4-0, 3-1. Every game we've won, we've scored 3 points in. Scored 3 goals in. I saw Blacker put that in the chat the other day, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the fact that our team can be so prolific in front of goal, and we still have problems. How could we be so prolific in front of goal, but still have problems against low blocks? I don't get it. It's not making sense. The low block thing is a mad issue for us. It's a mad issue.
Sorry,
go on, Blacker. You can't. No, it's cool, man. Chat to them. Tottenham, as you were saying. Yeah. Typical Tottenham.
The missus gave me a call, but like I was saying, first 10 minutes, I think like the rest of the fans and that was on the edge of our seats thinking, they've had a few chances. Like Haaland's had a few opportunities. Vicario with some massive saves, by the way. But I thought that for me is what kind of threw Pep off. I think Pep was probably expecting us to come out from the jump straight away, firing from the blocks, going at them. But I think this is where we have to give praise to Ange. The players looked a lot more calm in that first 10 minutes. It was like, all right, we'll see how they play. We'll let them press. And then after that, I mean, we just blew them away, man. I was in shock. Literally,
it was one of them ones where every time we attacked, I was like, shit, something's going to happen here. Like, we had them on their heels, backtracking. And like I said, I think one of the key things Ange done was instill into this team the mentality that, guys, calm down. Don't let the first 15, 20 minutes in the game take you away. Because we remember what happened at Newcastle, bro. We remember what happened at Newcastle, yeah? Blown us away. That's what we can't allow to happen again. We couldn't allow that to, the doubt to sink in from early because they were peppering our goal. Like I said, they could have went 2-0 up. But I think that first goal we got relieved the pressure from the team and let them know, look, this is City, man. We do this business. This isn't new to us. Yeah. And then the game just started to play out the way that it does. But going onwards from that, and, how because for me, I don't know about you, 2-0 at half-time, PTSD was almost setting in. I was thinking, Amex Stadium, can this be a repeat? How was you thinking at that point? And what did you think needed to be done at halftime? Was you with, let's make a change, or we're keeping it the same way? Keep it like, what did you think about that?
At halftime, I was sat there. I said to my friend as well, I said to my mate, I was like, Ange needs to be telling these players, go out there, get a third and kill the game off. Haaland looked rattled. That Savio, I think his name is, he looked quite rattled as well. And when I say rattled as in, it looked like they knew what was at stake on Saturday, sorry. They knew how big this game was. And at 2-0, I honestly thought that we'd probably stink the game out in the second half. I had no clue. I didn't expect for us to come out in the second half and put them to the sword like that. I thought maybe the game might end 2-1 or even 2-2. I would have been happy with, if I'm being honest, because of the poor run of form.
I said I would have been happy with the 2-2. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I hear it because my thoughts at 2-0 going into the second half was sort of that. I was like, boys, look, we've had a very good first half. I know it's City. They can come out and bang 3 within 15 minutes. We've seen that 2-0 up. When they beat us 4-2, it was 3-2 within 10 minutes of the second half. I was afraid of that happening. But at the same time, I also knew that if you look at any of the other Spurs games, those first 10 minutes of the half usually tell a lot about what we're going to give and how we're going to approach the rest of that game. Very strong first 10 minutes of that half. We didn't let them, cut through our back line too much. Usually we tend to, when you saw that Brighton game, didn't they score in like the 48th minute? They scored really quick, straight out of that second half.
Yeah, straight
they
after
broke
kickoff,
us down. Literally broke us down, and it put our heads down. The fact that we got through that first 10 minutes, for me, it was just like, yeah, game done. We're through this. I genuinely felt that. And like you said, I feel like their players were rattled. The doubt had already sunk into their mind that this isn't going our way. They're missing easy chances. Haaland could have had 3 or 4 hit on the day himself, but he wasn't looking like himself. Even when he hit the bar that time, when they cut back around, he brings it onto his left and he curls it and it hits the bar. I think at that point, that's when they realized they're like, nah, today's not our day. Today is not our day. But what do you think about City then? Because just taking it a bit away from Tottenham now, and just really quickly, what is your thoughts on the title race? Do you think it's done for City and you think Liverpool run away, or do you have a completely different thought of it? I don't know, maybe Chelsea's, or I don't know. What do you think?
You know what? I'm on a different side of things because, look, we've seen City do some incredible things in the second half of the season, go 16, 17 games without losing or drawing. I'm saying straight wins. We've seen them do that. I think the title is dependent on the Arsenal result on the weekend.
Yeah.
If City beat Liverpool, and I think if Chelsea win on the weekend, then Pep really, really might have to start scratching his head. Because I didn't think the Rodri injury would be so big. I didn't realize how much of a massive player he was for them. We've seen them go without KDB for most of the season, and they're fine. We've seen them pick up a lot of injuries in the last few seasons, and they've been all right. So to see the team look so dysfunctional without Rodri, I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe this year might be a bit of a spicy time.
Downfall. It's the downfall, man. I know. Yesterday, people who haven't tuned in, check out Saeed's stream. We had a little LB funeral over there. And do you know what? I think it's clear to see, like you said, the impact from Rodri was massive. Last season, they lost the 3 games they didn't have him, they lost. And we took that with a pinch of salt at the time because, like I said, they went on that mad run afterwards. As soon as he come back, no one really took too much of it. They had a similar period last year where there was like 3 or 4 games without a win. But the fact they've gone 5 losses in a row, they've got no Rodri to look forward to, or no CDM that's going to come into the team and shore up that midfield. The defense looks a mess. They're conceding goals all over the place. I mean, we created chance after chance, could have scored 4 or 5. Bournemouth could have scored 4 or 5. And even in some of the other games early in the season that they were winning, they're getting last-minute goals. They're getting last-minute chances that are just getting them through it. Wolves, Arsenal, and so on. So they're definitely, you can tell, things aren't going their way. Things aren't looking good. And for me, when you see the signs early like this, it's going to play out across the year. They're probably going to have these problems all season. After 4 in a row, it's about right that City have a year off. It would have been better if the year off meant Tottenham can go forward and go above them, but clearly it's not correlating right now. There's no correlation between that one. But bringing it back to Spurs, as we are speaking Spurs, this is a Tottenham show. Let's keep it over these sides. Do you think we need to sign someone in January then to replace Vicario or replace Forster or whatever? Because he may not be back until February, potentially March. Do you think we need to sign anyone, or do we just show full faith in Fraser Forster?
I think 100%. I think we do need a few signings in January. I think that the injuries that we have got, although some would consider them not to be that major, I think we have had enough significant injuries to say, look, we do need to add to the team. In terms of getting a backup keeper, I would have said yes anyways. That was something that I wanted done in the summer for this exact reason. I know we gave Forster an extended contract and whatever, but I wanted us to go out there and make those signings in the summer because of things like this. Vicario went the whole season last season injury-free. Listen, at this club, I don't think anyone goes their full Tottenham career without getting an injury. So I think that's definitely something in January that I'm hoping we can look at. You know what I mean? I like that James Trafford guy from Burnley. I think he's a great keeper. He's young as well. I think that's where we should be looking at, because Vicario, I want Vicario to kind of take on that Lloris role where like you become that senior leader, senior member of the team, and we bring in a young keeper who can kind of learn from the likes of Vicario. So yeah, 100%. I think we definitely need to sign a backup keeper in January.
Trafford's a good shout, man. I can't even lie. Trafford's definitely a good shout. When you look at how he was last year, solid in goal. Obviously, conceded a lot for Burnley, but he definitely was pulling out some class save. Even the Southampton goalkeeper who came from Man City, I think his name Bazunu or something like that. Gavin Bazunu, he's a class young goalkeeper. Someone, like you said, who can come in. They're going to know their role in being a second goalkeeper, and they're going to get their opportunity to play in the, Europa League game here and there, Carabao Cup game here and there, and just contribute at a certain level. But like you said, I think Vicario's role is bigger than just being the first team goalkeeper. We've seen so far this season, he's picked up that role of being he's in the leadership group, so he's one of the captains now. But also when he's on the pitch, he's probably one of our most vocal players, one of the guys that are actually getting onto players more often than not. And we've been needing to see that, because one of the other conversations that we've been having as Spurs as a fan base is, are we too nice? Are our players too nice? Because there was something that Kulusevski said in the midweek prior to the City game, and it was that we're working on our mentality and that we need to perform and be ready for these games every single week.
Yeah.
What I took from that is there's complacency in this squad. These guys they win on 1 or 2 games, get really happy, and then think, oh, we've done, like, they've already achieved what they need to do, and not realizing that this isn't even nothing. Like, you're just beating even this City game, if we're being honest, this means nothing at the end of the season. It's just a big win. It feels nice for the moment. We can enjoy it for 2 days. But outside of that, the players, they should know, look, tonight we're going to have a good night, but tomorrow we're focused on Roma. And that's what it needs to be. The mentality needs to set in that these players, game by game, and they're literally laser focused on winning every single game. Do you think the team's full of nice guys? Or do you think, are you happy with the squad?
You know what, yeah? This is something that I've been calling out since we lost Dembele. I said that, you know what we need? We need a player who's just going to say, F it, I'll do it myself. Someone who's just going to say, you know what? If you lot aren't going to do nothing, give me the ball, I'll do it. And I think that's what we was all kind of expecting Maddison to be. But I think he's kind of had to take the more humble approach now that he's a vice captain and whatnot. I think that's what we're seeing in Kulu. I did want to speak to you about Kulu because, listen, a couple seasons ago when I told everyone, watch out for him, yeah? He's getting warm. Everyone told me I was crazy now. And now look, he's the best 10.
He's been warming for a while, bro. They don't know he's been warming.
Most take-ons in Europe, most take-ons in the league, most passes completed. You know what I'm saying? He has been that player for us, that X-factor player that we needed. So I think you're right. We are full of nice guys. That was very obvious in the Ipswich game. We showed them I don't even want to say we showed them respect, but it's almost like, go out there and put them to the sword. We're Tottenham Hotspur. Let them know you don't get to come to White Hart Lane and you know what I'm saying, do your fancy celebrations and have your admin trolling us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Did I freeze? I think I might have frozen. Yeah. But for me, that's a massive thing, man. Massive thing. But yeah, man.
No, it is. It's a huge thing. And like Kulusevski, man, Kulusevski has been honestly, it's not even been a revelation because, like you said, it's been one of those things. He's been Wormsy for a few years now. Like, take away the numbers, take away the stats. This guy's who was after Conte?
After Conte,
forgetting all
we
our
had
managers now.
the
We
Lean
had
guy.
man like nah, when Conte, Mason, and then times this season to just say, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it all myself. I ain't gonna keep because before I felt like he knew it was Kane's team, it was Son's team. Now it's no one's team. It's whoever wants to go take that role. Maddison shied away from it. Kulu's just stepped up and took it. But now, like you said, I think for Maddison, let's speak on Maddison for a second because that was a huge game for him. He needed that. He needed the goals. He needed the performance because there was a lot of questions regarding whether he needs to contribute at a higher level. What do you think of Maddison so far this season? And do you see him fitting into this first team setup? Because there's questions whether he should start or not.
Right now, for me, Maddison's been a player that I've wanted at our team for a very long time. I think for a good 4 or 5 years. He's one of them players where when he's lacking confidence, he has to be allowed to play through that bad spell. Do you know what I mean? When you take him out and, you chop and change, that does have an effect on him. I think he's been brilliant this season in the games that he has played. I know everyone wants output and GA, but look, the reality is he's not going to score every week. He's not going to score every week. He's not going to get 3 or 4 assists in every game. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think he's going to be a player where in these big moments, we're going to want to see him grab the badge on that shirt and say, yo, I'm a Tottenham player. I need to come out and I'm one of the leaders. And I think that's the problem with him. I think I see him and he's a bit too like mopey, head down type of guy, like he seems a bit too disappointed all the time. And I had that problem with like the Richarlison last season where he was like, I don't perform, so my head's down. It's like, no, you need to kind of say, I'm the man who's going to lead this team. So I think as long as Kulusevski continues to kind of take up the mantle as the maverick of the team, I think Maddison's going to have to really, really start to look at himself and see if he's going to really get the minutes that he wants. Because I want him to start every game. He's a brilliant footballer, especially on his day. He's one of the best in the league. And he's a footballer of a dying breed. How rare is it to find 10s nowadays that have his quality, that can speed up a game and slow a game down? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if he doesn't get his stuff together, I can 100% see I'm saying to him, look, mate, you're going to have to hold bench because Kulusevski he's putting up the numbers right now.
That's the thing. And that is the thing for me is because I feel like I actually think prior to, I think a few games ago, I made a video like a month ago. I never actually got released, but I was talking about how his performances have been this season. I've actually think he's had a decent season. Like a lot of the games that people have said he's been poor in, I don't think he's been poor. I think he's just having some problems adjusting to the role, like you said, of being second place or being the second string attacker or creative midfielder in that team, especially when he's playing next to Kulusevski. I still feel like they've got a little bit of work to do when where each of them are on the pitch. But I think the reason it worked so well on the weekend was Kulusevski started out on the right. We had Pap Sarr and Bissouma behind Madders. I think Madders plays better when he knows Pap Sarr's there to cover the ground in the midfield and Bissouma's there to sweep up behind him. When you have him and Kulusevski there, he has to drop in a bit deeper, do the bit more of a leggy role, and then allow Kulu to sort of drift and have the free roam. I feel like that sort of throws him off at times. It throws him off on where he needs to be on the pitch, what position he needs to take up. And like you said, when he scored that goal, he said in his interview that he's been making those runs all season. We've seen it. Romero's been finding him off that pass, but it's just choosing when and the smartest time to make that run. He hasn't really made it at great times too often, but when it has been found to him, he's been in good positions, and ultimately Kulu found him that time. I think what Ange probably needs to do going forward at times is do what he done against City. No Brennan Johnson, please. No, Please give me no Brennan Johnson. Just a couple games, because like we saw, he does have. He can impact a game. Brennan Johnson has some really good movement. I think every Tottenham fans acknowledge now that he's got top movement. If you want him to run off the ball into open spaces, he's gonna do what he needs there. But outside of that, he's not offering enough to the game for him to be our right-sided winger. I think he should just be a super sub. I think he'll get a lot of goals being a super sub. But if we put Kulusevski out on that right-hand side, but not, you know how last year he was just shoved on the right-hand side and it's just like, stay out there. Against City, it was, no, Kulusevski's playing everywhere, but on the team sheet, he's just on the right-hand side. So I think there needs to be a bit of that. Maybe just adjusting the system, to allow Maddison to have the role that he actually plays, which is the 10, like giving him that freedom to create in that 10, make those deep line runs. But ultimately, I do think he's had a decent season. Just needs to improve. Unlike that, that's what you said. He needs to get more goals, needs to get more assists. Because if he wants to be compared to the likes of Odegaard, the likes of KDB, the best attackers in the league, Bruno, he needs to get numbers. The numbers need to get up.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
No, definitely. But we do have a big game coming up. Europa League settings, Roma at home. What are you thinking for that one? I don't know if you've seen Roma's records, but they've just sacked their manager. Claudio Ranieri's come in a week or two ago. So we already know that one gives us nightmares. And they're like one win in their last, 7 or 8 games. But does that mean Dr. Tottenham's going to strike? What are you saying?
You know what? I'm expecting Dr. Tottenham to strike. However, this should be nothing else but a Spurs win. It should be pretty comfortable as well. I think even with the second string team, they should be looking at that performance and saying, you know what? Right. The first team have gone out there and they've gone and put City to the sword, yeah. Let's show Ange, you know what? Why we deserve to play, because I know I've seen some things coming out about a few players being unhappy with their minutes, and for me, look, you have to earn those minutes. So on Thursday, I'm expecting to see us go out there and put 4-5 past them. If I'm honest, that might seem crazy. But I just have I don't know. I have a lot of faith in the youngsters of these Tottenham youngsters, man. Especially Mikey Moore. I want to see it. I want to see a lot more of him again on the left. I don't want to see Werner. Please. Will Lanche is suspended, so I will.
I forgot he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like this is probably one of those games where we're gonna have to throw more of our first team players in there, just because. Like I said, I don't know if Double M's back. I think Mike Moore is still out due to illness, which is questionable. I don't know what the Spurs medical team is doing, but man, having a virus for 1 month, I don't know what's going on over there. I know we sacked a few man, brought in a new medical team, but no changes happened because I see Odegaard, man got surgery as well. He's out for 3 months, so that's another youngster we're not going to see. What I do want to see in this game, though, a youngster, is I want to see Archie Gray played in his actual position. Please, can we get one game of Archie Gray in the middle? Because we're seeing him play right back, seeing him play left back, and I'm not going to lie, the right back performances have been decent, but he got centre back as well. But I think he got cooked last week at Galatasaray. I think he was cooked in that game. It wasn't a terrible performance, but he's not a fullback. You can tell that from the way that he's defending. Players with pace are going to take him down the line and beat him every single time, unless he's got the yards on them. So I want to see him in that 6 role, seeing what he can do. If he doesn't play well for 45 minutes, then bring Basuma in, swap him out, change it, and so on. But I think that would be key for us to see, because, like I said, in these games, it's more about seeing the players that aren't playing every week, what they can bring, what they can add to the team. And as of yet, so far this season, I don't look at anyone in the B team and say they're pushing for a spot in the first team. No one's really trying to make their mark over in that competition as of yet. I feel like our first team players have sort of saved the day most of the games. But apart from them, I do think a guy that can have some strong impact is Luka Bergvall. What do you think of him amongst the other younger players? Because I think he's been up and down. I wouldn't say he's been bad in any games, but in the Galatasaray game, I'd say he's one of those players that suffered the most in the midfield, because we got suffocated. They absolutely suffocated us.
Yeah. To be quite honest, I think games like the City games suit him more. Games where it's like you're either going to have a lot of the ball or you aren't. It's a bit, I think the basketball style games don't really suit him. It's a bit fast paced. I think he's a good youngster. Look, he's a good prospect. He's still adjusting to the league. I don't want to be too harsh on some of the youngsters, especially because pick up Sav. I don't want to be too harsh on the youngsters, especially just because look, these are a lot of the future of our club, innit? So it's important that they get the minutes. But I reckon he's going to be a big player for us in the future. I won't sit here and pretend that I watched him play when he was at Sweden. I've seen some clips of him. I've seen even the few minutes that he has had in a Tottenham shirt. He does look like a very Christian Eriksen-esque footballer. He seems very
he's tidy, man.
They are very tidy, very good at keeping the ball close to his feet. So I don't listen. Honestly, I'd like to see him perform well. Hopefully, he can even grab a goal or an assist just to boost the confidence, because that's always important as well. But yeah, I think he's gonna be one for the future. Definitely, 100%.
He's gonna be a huge player. Definitely one for the future. I think the one thing I've been a little bit disappointed on with him is I guess my expectation was too high from what I saw in pre-season. I saw him in pre-season and he was running some games. Like he was generally our best midfielder. And sort of doing that Maddison role so good. I felt like he kept the ball really well. He knows when to make that pass. He knows when to punch it forward and break the line. I think one of the things that he's suffering with in the Spurs team is just being a bit nervous. I think he's having nerves in a lot of the games he's playing because he's not getting so much minutes. When he is getting those minutes, he's being he's overthinking every pass that he's doing. He's trying to be over careful. He's trying to do the easy pass instead of just playing that ball straight through the middle. And he's keeping the ball well. He's not like he's losing it or anything like that. But I think it's maybe over time, he's probably going to feel a bit more confident and feel himself more in that team. But because he's not getting those opportunities at the moment, and he's getting the small 45-minute cameos, he's not had that chance to really make an impact, but definitely one of the youngsters to look out for in the future. But to be honest, in this game, I think one of the key, I want to see Solanke have a strong performance in this one. I want to see Solanke get some goals because the one thing I feel like we've still lacked, and even though he done some really great work on the weekend, I feel like we just don't create enough for Solanke. Solanke rarely gets an opportunity in front of goal. He usually tends to, the ball just falls to him. The ball literally just ends up hitting off a player and it just falls away. But then he ends up, striking it like he did against City. It wasn't clean. So I want to see a bit more from Solanke this game. I want to see us create through Solanke. I think it's going to depend on who we put out on those wings, like you said, because I think Brennan Johnson's going to start. There's no doubt about that. Who we play on the left is going to be. It's going to be good to see whether we throw some of the other youngsters in there, because I know there's been a few on the bench that's been named, but I don't really know whether they're going to get minutes. So it's going to be one of those ones, isn't it? It's a bit tough. It's a bit tough for the youngsters to have that time. But what's your scores? What's your score prediction? I know you said 3 or 4. Do you actually predicting a 3-4-0 for that game?
No, I don't actually think we'll put 3 or 4. Well, maybe 3 or 4, but I don't think we'll put 5 or, you know what I'm saying? I reckon, if I'm being honest, I think 3-1's fair. I reckon we will concede first because it's just in our nature to concede first. We do always concede first. But I think in the end, the game will be fairly, it'll be a fairly confident win. I am going to be there. So, hopefully it won't be a waste of my time. Yeah. So, no.
Hopefully not, man, because them Spurs tickets ain't cheap. I saw that. I was looking. I was like, I might go to Europa League game. That's £60 for Europa League. I was like, what? These men, they're trying to rob us, I remember 2 seasons ago, these games, Champions League was half this price. I was like, all right, but you might see me there. If you catch me there, just, don't say nothing. It's one of them ones. I do end up just finding myself at Spurs games regardless, just pulling up because I'm trying to experience it in person like everyone else is. I want to see the win. But no, I'm gonna be a bit more cautious on my prediction because I generally think Roma, although they're not a good team, it's one of those teams that you just watch out for when they come away from home, especially. They're gonna want to give a good performance. Claudio Ranieri, It's like, bro, he knows Tottenham. I know my man done the thing to us. 2015, 2016, it was dark. Times were dark.
Yeah,
One of my worst times as a Spurs fan. But and it's one of those ones where, like you said, I feel like the doubt is just set in from seeing the way Crystal Palace went, seeing the way Galatasaray went, seeing the way Ipswich went. I've got a feeling Dr. Tottenham might have something to say in this one. That's I've got a feeling he might have something to say. We do need a win though, because the Europa League table, we want to make sure that we finish within that top 8. Finishing within that top 8 is key because we want to make sure we got the favourable fixtures going into that next round. But just overall, away from the Roma game, away from the actual Premier League, what's your expectations for Spurs this season? What do you want to see us do? What would make you happy as a fan?
I think, look, I've been supporting this club for a very long time. 17 years I've been supporting this football club, right? For me, I want to see us win. I think I deserve, I think not even, it's a bit selfish to say I deserve, but I think us as fans, we deserve something to celebrate at the end of the season. And for me, that is a cup. I don't want to say I don't care where we finish in the league because we don't want to fall off and finish in the bottom half of the table. Yeah. We still want to aim to finish in the European places. So I think if we can aim to finish between 6th and 4th with a cup, I'd be very, very happy. I think the only way I'd maybe accept not winning a cup is if we go deep into one of the competitions. You know, maybe we make it to the final of the League Cup and we get knocked out on penalties. You know what I'm saying? I can accept those things there. What I won't accept is Ange playing a second string team in the round of 16 of the Europa League to rest for Brighton at home on Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think a successful season for us this year is definitely a cup. I've got my all my eggs in that basket. I'd love to see us lift that Europa League just because the euphoria, like, I don't know.
I'd love it, man.
Cry.
No, I wouldn't blame you. I probably will myself. Like, I've said it. Like, don't get me wrong. A Carabao Cup's Carabao Cup. It will be nice. I saw one back in the day, and it was nice when I saw it. But I remember even watching Kieran Richardson on Phil Fellas. He said it himself. Players don't care about Carabao Cup. Like, it's really just a small thing, and I don't want that. That's not That's one of the minor trophies. It's a second string trophy in England. And I'm not going to push it down. And like I said, if we finish 4th to 6th and get a trophy and it is the Carabao Cup, I'm going to be happy. But that Europa League, that European trophy, that's got me feeling nice. Now, that's got me feeling like we're starting something. I feel like you need that type of trophy that lets the team know and gives them the confidence that we're building something. We really got something to do here. And as Ange said, he always wins something in his second season. So make sure it damn happens, because my expectation is we definitely win something this season. After he doubled down on that statement, I doubled down with him. I said, yeah, all right then, show me that we're going to do it. Because like you said, man, we deserve this. We deserve this more than any other fan base, bro. And I'm going to say that being disregarding anything that they've gone through. We deserve this. No one goes through the highs and lows of a Spurs fan, beating City 4-0, losing your first team goalkeeper 2 days later. That's what it's like being a Spurs fan. So we deserve something good to come in. And this Europa League would be very, very nice. It's also, it relieves the pressure of the team to have to get top 4. I acknowledge that the team, and the fact that we haven't got a great team this year, you know, we haven't really got a full squad that is much better than Chelsea, I'd say. I think Chelsea got a better squad than us. I do think we could finish above them, but ultimately their squad is bigger than ours, double. They've literally got 2 teams they can deploy. So when I look at top 4 and say that's a bit tough, do the job over here, bro. All you got to do is win Europa League. I'm not saying all you got to do, but there's no teams coming down from Champions League like before. So we're literally one of the best teams in the Europa League. We should go out there and do the business. I generally don't see why we shouldn't. And anything but winning Europa League, or like you said, getting to a final and it being very close in the final is going to be unacceptable for me. And it could be Ange's job on the line. But for a long while, and still the time. Oh shit! I think you can't.
Yeah, man. Like, No, did I cut out? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now.
All right. Yeah, brilliant. No.
Oh. All right, wait. I think he's gonna be coming back. He'll come back in a sec, guys. But Sav, yeah, man. Shout out for you for being tuned in. Shout out to you, Rasmus Winter Highland, man. Look, if you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. But you tuned in, so drop a like, man. I don't care. You can hate if you want. But ultimately, you don't want to show your face because you're a troll account. You ain't got nothing else to say. If you would say, you'd say it to my face. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, big up Sav. Can't lie. I'm looking forward to playing you guys still. I can't lie, Sav. From what I see, that looks like a little too cool on Chelsea Stadium. If you're a Chelsea fan, I'm very much looking forward to this game. It's only a few weeks away.
He is a Chelsea fan. That's my good friend, man, from long time. That's my brother, man.
Shout out to Sav then, man. I'm looking forward to that game. That's in 2-3 weeks. The 8th. I know it's the 8th of December. So I know that I've got in the calendar. I've already remembered. We're coming, bro. We're coming.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
But go on, as you were saying.
We put them to the sword. I think we put them to the sword in that game. Cole Palmer, you get me? The ice cube's gonna melt.
We're gonna see who the real number 10 is, because my number 10's got something to say in it. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. Man, we're gonna see who's really cold out here.
We're gonna see who's really cold. Yeah.
Trust me. Now we have to beat you guys. I will see. Do you know what? Stamford Bridge is not a happy hunting ground for us. I will say that. It's been a while since we got a win at Stamford Bridge.
It's at the lane in December. It's at the lane. It's at White Hart Lane.
Is that at the lane this time? Okay, I thought that I must have read it wrong. I thought that was at the bridge. At the lane, even better. Even better. This is exactly what we need. We got Chelsea, and then we got United at the lane on the 19th, and then we go to Anfield on the 22nd.
And then we got we got Liverpool at the lane as well.
Oh my god, hey. I was gonna say I'm feeling good, but 3 big games back to back, pretty much. They're all like 2 weeks apart. It's going to be a techie one. I'm definitely going to be at the lane for a couple of those games, though. So if anyone is there, make sure you lock in, man. But Black or Not, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure talking Spurs with you. We're definitely going to do this another time. Have you got anything to plug? Because, as you know, I know Black and Music. I know you be doing some stuff. Have you got anything to plug for the people, anything that they can check out? Let them know, man.
Yeah, so obviously, I just want to say big thanks to Jords for having me on the show. You know, it's been a pleasure talking about the club that we both love and hate, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I've created my channel. You know, I've been speaking to Hooks behind the scenes. Hooks has been giving me some kind of words of advice, and you know, he's been amazing in terms of giving me the motivation to start this football thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I have created a channel, guys. It is called the Hotspur Cave. You know what I'm saying? We're just some cavemen over here talking about Spurs, literally. You know, and hopefully we can discover that flame. You know what I'm saying? That flame being the trophy at the end of the season, man. So
most definitely.
If you don't want to come join the family, come become a caveman. Hotspur Cave on YouTube. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Get over there. Make sure you guys get over there. I'll put the link in the description after this. But Hotspur Cave, that's where you'll find Blacker over there. We'll definitely link up again after this. We're going to have another show or something. We'll do something. We'll lock something back in. And we'll do something over on his channel so you guys can really lock in and tune in. But nah, big up to you, Blacker. Big up for coming on. Hotspur Cave, make sure you guys head over there. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Slap on the post notification bell if you want to see more videos. If not, just slap a like and comment. And if you want to hate like Rasmus Højlund, please do, man. I don't mind. All comments are good. Trust me. But no, big up to everyone inside. Big up for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Peace out, man.
Peace out.